Well, today it's more handles. Sort of a philosophy thing. Waxing philosophical. That's what I'm feeling like. The reality of life as a potter. In real life, I'm self-employed, working on computer systems and project management and computer related stuff, and probably the most interesting thing I'm doing is creating Netflix-like TV channels. So I'm setting up a TV channel for these videos so you can watch me on TV. Not just via YouTube, but my own channel, which is kind of cool. So here I am, pulling cup handles. It's a lot more clay than I need, so I might as well not use it. So it sticks on, hangs on nicely. And pulls off the cup. These cups are to be used for a local cafe that needs coffee mugs and lotto cups and latte, as I should say. So once pulled, I want them to be durable and strong, as they should be for a cafe. And right sized. Uno of 20. So I start with taking the plug of clay, carat of clay, and smoothing out the end of it and making a good attachment point. My right hand's a little messy right at the moment. I don't like to get the cups messy. So here we go. I don't like to get the cups real sloppy, and so I made these last night and putting handles on them today. I actually had them ready to trim last night, the bottom of them, but it was too late for me to spend a lot of time last night when I got home putting handles on them, so I covered them with plastic really good this last night, and then in throwing them and trimming them, and now today putting handles on them. Making sure it's square. lined up. A little bit of character. Squish it on there. Pinch it off. Shape it up. Good handhold. There you go. I like the character of the handle. Good connection looking. I like the dynamics of that interaction here with the handle as it connects to the cup. Dos of 20. Not making them sloppy, making a nice solid connection. Great form. Well pulled. You can really feel the clay connect, and you know you've got a connection there. I have had one or two come off in a batch on occasion, but it's usually because I've let everything dry out too much. I've tried to put it under plastic and leave it for too long, and then I come back and try to use fresh clay as a handle. And so there's too much variation between the clay used for the mold or the cup and the handle being fresh clay. Lined up, squished on, pinched off, smoothed out. Voila. Tres, uno, dos, tres. There's a song there, I know, I can hear it coming. Yes. These guys are going to be stamped also, which is turning out to be my favorite coffee shop. Stamped with the logo of my favorite coffee shop. Making like a little carrot. Somewhat blunted at the ends and more handles. No glamour, no red carpets. It's just me and my coffee cup handles today. I'm not a singer. When I was a kid, in the 6th grade, I was in the choir. And at that point in my life, things were changing. And the choir instructor was up front, and I was in the first or second row, I can't remember. And she said, "There's somebody out of key right here." And she pointed at me. Well, the first time I heard that or saw that, or, I didn't realize that I was out of key. I was growing up. I was changing as life would have it at that point, 6th grade. And we carried on in the choir practice just a little bit longer, and she looked over there in the same direction again, right at me, and didn't say my name, but again she pointed at me specifically and said, "There's somebody out of key right there." I kind of looked back on it and wondered if she knew my name. But I never went back to choir. I've sung in choirs and in church since then, but I just thought that was so funny in reflection. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4. I gotta make sure this camera's recording properly. So let me look and see what that's looking like. Well, it looks like the camera's doing well. 12 minutes into it, 4 handles. That's interesting in my perspective of life. 3 minutes per handle. It's not too bad. So, now stamping on the stamp for the coffee shop. So I'm applying it from one side to the other and rolling it across the cup like that. I don't know how bad or how good that looks over there on the camera, but I put my finger in behind it and round up the form a little bit more and repair the damage there. And then take neat little woodworking tool and make a design around the outside of it. To emphasize the logo. So instead of using a sprig, this sets off the impression a lot like a sprig would. clean out the form a little bit. Wondering if that looks good to you guys. I love it. And the customer wants more, which is good. So I make more. I have the stamp sitting over there in cornstarch just to ensure it's as basically dry. Again, I just roll the stamp across the form and it becomes this impression, taking this impression. And I push it back out a little bit to give it depth and shape, and square the handle back up. Where I messed it up, use my little woodworking tool to create an outline around the form of the stamp. And there you go. And that's just continued to be repeated. Thus is the life of a potter. Sometimes I put this stamp on upside down. And so it's a little tricky. It's a little detailed stamp. Really nice. Comes out really well. Highlighted with the glaze. So what you might have seen there is I missed part of the impression of the stamp, and so I put it back onto the cup, and I can feel the design kind of lock into where the impression was made, for alignment, and then I can go back and roll back into the form and re-impress the part that I missed the first time. I do my best to back up the impression of the tool with my fingers on the inside. And then expand it a little bit to give it body. And there we have it. 4 more cups with handles. 4 of 20, that is.